Hello, ladies and gentlemen. In just a few minutes, we will begin this awesome episode of the Therapyard podcast with your hosts, Lucid and troydashow, who will be here in just a few moments. But thank you all for checking in. And tonight's episode is about yours truly. That's right, Lucid the Dreamwaker, and my new album, Journey to the Bright Side. Give me a moment here, ladies and gentlemen. So, a lot of people don't understand how much time and work actually goes into making an album. A lot more time than you think. Welcome, baby.
Hey,
My
sorry.
co-host.
Welcome to your own show. Yeah,
Yeah,
my bad.
it's all right.
Oof.
Our fans are lenient. This is the rap yard. We don't wear polo tees. We wear white beaters and show up late.
Yeah, this isn't a wife beater, but whatever.
No, not you. This in general.
Oh yeah, we come to work in our pajamas.
Yeah, yeah. With like something strong in our cup.
Ah, definitely. Have you ever worked at a place where people did that? Like actually came to work in their pajamas?
Let me think. Yeah, yeah, one job, a couple jobs like that, but
I
they were
worked in
like,
a law office where they did that.
Really?
Yeah, we didn't have front facing clients. We it was like banks. It was all behind the scenes. So
Oh, well,
like we didn't
yeah.
have to meet with anybody. So
Anytime you don't have to see anyone like face to face is like, oh, time to relax.
I didn't wear my pajamas to work. So
I mean, I feel like you can only wear pajamas to work so long before you start to get depressed.
right. That was the
Yeah,
thing. So,
yeah, it is.
hey, LaPunked says hello. Hello, LaPunked.
Hey, how you doing?
I didn't mean to put so much emphasis on the P and punked. I'm sorry. Hello, LaPunked. So, we don't have a guest today because, and I should have vetted this with you first, but I didn't. You're the guest. We're talking to you because you just released,
Woohoo!
was your second album?
Yes, but we will call
Congrats.
this one my first. Woohoo! Round
What
of
do you
applause
mean
for
by
that.
that? Yeah, where's my sound effects?
Well, the first album I ever made, I made like when I first started making music.
Hmm.
So the quality is super low, and I developed so much more since then. So I don't really count it as, it was more like at the time is a big deal, but
Well, is it out there though? Is it like
yeah, yeah, it definitely was.
it was, but it's not now?
No, because
You took it
I
down?
got, yeah, I took it down.
Yeah, that's
It's
fine.
just wasn't at the par. It's like a 12-year-old album or something.
Yeah. Well, is okay. So did that album have the songs on it like "So Godly" and or were those just singles?
Those were just singles.
Or was the other one "Drugs"? So many drugs or whatever.
All these drugs. No, this
All
is
these
pre
drugs.
all these drugs. Pre all of that. That's how old it
Okay.
is.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
that's why I'm like, okay, I don't really count that. And plus, this is the first time I ever like produced an album.
Hmm. So
These,
you did all the music yourself, like just you.
mm-hmm. Yup.
Dang.
Yeah, it was a lot. A lot of those tracks I had been working on for quite some time.
Right.
Only some of them were done in like no time at all.
Yeah.
But most of
Like,
them I have been working on for a while.
well, congrats, first of all. And you
Woo!
you went to like was it a release party last night or was it like for the people you said that did your video? Was it for them?
It was more or less for them.
Uh,
I haven't had like a release party. I'm
why
thinking of
not?
well, to be honest, life is really. I got really busy around the release date a lot
Yeah,
more than I thought I would be.
you were doing a lot of marketing.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I should have done. I mean, I still can. I might do something. I'm just not sure what I do yet.
Yeah, we could talk about that
Mhm.
later because I don't want to. We don't have to reveal all our secrets, but
All of our secrets,
yeah.
loose secrets.
So I listened to the whole album more than
Woohoo!
more than once. Um, and I saw that you were talking to dang, what's his name? Chris that was on with Young RC.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that what he goes by?
Got mom. Yeah, Young RC.
Oh, LaPunked wanted to know where they can listen to it. It's on all streaming platforms, right? Like Apple Music, Spotify.
Hmm. And now
Um,
there's a visualizer on YouTube you can watch too. Just insert Lucid the Dreamwaker, not Walker, no L, and
Not
Journey to the
Dreammaker.
Bright.
Yeah,
Not Dreammaker, not Dreamwalker, Walker Dreamwaker. Like
yeah.
when you wake up.
Like you're dreaming and then you wake up, and the name of the album is Journey to the Bright Side.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are in a whole different energy field and dimension with this one.
We appreciate you asking that. But yeah, it's on everything, and it's a good listen. It's what is it? 12 songs, 13 songs.
it's 12 songs and two like interludes, so it comes out to 14, but really 12 of them are songs.
I got a crazy straw. It changes color too.
Sometimes
I didn't
try
even know
to
that. Sorry.
you're looking on the wacky
I
side.
told you I am an intrusive thought. I yeah. Um, but yeah, I really liked it. And I was thinking about it. You might be able to relate to this. Like,
Hmm.
you don't necessarily, you aren't like hyped about like your friends and family listening to it when it comes out because it's almost like embarrassing. Dreamwakers Media One, that's the YouTube, right?
Yeah, Dreammakers Media. Yep, that's the YouTube channel that it is on.
Yeah. Shout out to LaPunk. Definitely check that out.
I,
It's on that YouTube.
I appreciate the engagement.
Yeah, definitely. But give us a listen. Let us know what you think. I thought it was great. Like I was saying though, like it's like it's almost embarrassing. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Like
Because
that's kind
if
of
you're
how
really
I was.
putting like your heart and soul into it, it's like a
Mm,
diary. It's like
very raw. So it's kind of like when people are listening to it or looking at it, it's like, oh, they're it's like looking at you naked or something.
kind of,
Like,
yeah. Especially
oh,
when
you
you
got
have
some
stuff in your
inside.
lyrics where you're talking about like sex or like
Yeah, yeah. I
it's
feel
like
you.
when you're watching like a movie with your parents or whatever, and there's like a sex scene that comes on. It's not like
Hmm.
that, but similar. And other stuff too that they might not approve of, more or
See,
less.
that's kind of how it was, but I just got to that point where I'm like, okay, it's me. It's me,
Right.
this person right now. And like even the day before, I'm kind of like, oh no, this is kind of weird. No, but I'm like, well, you know what? Screw that. I done spent so much time working on this.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm doing more promo than I really have in a long time for anything.
It's a lot of work, but I think honestly, even if you don't see the results right away, it pays off because what I've discovered from ours, and I think timing plays a factor as well as just continually putting stuff out.
Mhm.
Even if you just like, I don't want to say like steal someone's idea, but kind of like copy. They have templates and stuff you can use now just with memes or
Yeah.
whatever. Just put like a
Mhm.
short little thing out that's kind of funny just to
Mhm.
keep the momentum going. But
I
um,
definitely know what you mean. I
if
told myself the other day, I was like, maybe I should slow down before I lose momentum. I don't think I will anytime soon though.
right. Now, what do you mean by that though? Like slow down, like
Like space out your media a little bit more. And
oh, is that a thing?
uh, probably not as much as it used to be because now everything's so fast paced.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
attention spans are
not as
probably
much as it
shorter.
used to be. Yeah, not as much as it used to be, but still, you don't want to be like in everybody's face one day, and then next week you're a silent ghost because you don't have anything.
No, yeah, I guess. I mean, it's hard to say. I don't think anyone has it figured out yet. Like a lot of people claim to, but
Right.
I think a lot of it's luck, whether or not people like you. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like for real, and also like visually, more so than like content
Mhm.
and auditory. People like to see stuff. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, hey, LePunk asked, "What's the song that you're the most proud of personally off that album?" I guess.
Ooh, the song that I'm most proud
Good
of,
question.
honestly, is probably On My Way
Okay.
or or maybe that's a tough one. Cam Girl, mainly because that song kind of took a lot from the mixing and the producing angle. Like even though it's not that much of a busy track, it took a lot to get that track right and finally find an idea that I think worked to make my vision of what I wanted.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I was like, that song took so long to make. It just
Really.
yeah. Now that it's like done, I'm like, hey, I got it right. I got what I wanted.
That's so satisfying too when you get to that point. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, at least for me, I'm just like, well, I'm done with this. Like, I'm not even, whether or not it's right, I don't know. But I guess that's why people pay engineers and stuff.
You're
Um,
right about that, cause it was a lot.
yeah. So, like, one thing I was going to ask you about was you said this took a long time to make, of course,
Mm-hmm.
like any good piece of art. Was this kind of like centralized around a time period in your life, like sort of like a chapter in your life, kind of like telling a story?
I definitely would say it was,
Hmm. I got that vibe.
especially around the time that I conceptualized the album. Like I remember thinking like literally like 2 years ago what I wanted. And it's so funny to watch an idea grow and stuff. So
Yeah.
originally, like the beginning of the energy of the project is like kind of upbeat and fun for a reason. Like the whole original idea was to have a project just like that, maybe like a 6 or 7 track EP or something like that. And
Hmm.
then I was making these songs. I was like, well, this is weird. I feel like I only got half a picture here, you know?
Hmm.
Then I was like, well, I should add some maybe I'll add a little more darker stuff or other themes other than just upbeat electronic fun music.
Yeah. So the upbeat electronic part, the first part of the album, is almost like party vibe, and then
Yeah,
you get into, I can't remember the name of the song, but is it Therapy, or I don't, something like
yeah,
that? Is it
yeah.
called
No more
Therapy?
therapy.
No more Therapy.
Yeah.
And then it's like, ooh, ouch, because it's like you realize you're like, okay, he's been partying and stuff because he's trying to
Yeah.
like, not feel what he's going
Hmm.
through. Yeah,
Hmm.
very very relatable.
Hey, you caught that. I'm so happy that was I'm so glad that people got that.
And it's like, it's not one of those things where it's like, just hits you in the head like this is real obvious. So
Hmm.
it's not like you didn't dumb it down, but you also made it to where I think most people would appreciate that that's kind of the timeline of things. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And yeah,
I would definitely say that that was another part that was more difficult than I thought it would be. Is the sequencing of the album, the order of the tracks to
really.
tell the story that I wanted to tell, but and also a balance of what is going to keep people listening. You know what I mean? If you put,
Yeah.
yeah, it's this weird balance.
Well, because like it would seem like very much like in a timeline,
Mhm.
especially the second time I listened to it. Um, so it's kind of surprising to me that you say you don't know what order, you didn't know what order you were going to put the songs in. I couldn't
Mhm.
really imagine it like in a different order.
That is hilarious. That means I finally nailed it on the hill. I was like, yes, this is it. This is the order.
Yeah, you know what you're doing. And you had is it no? You had three tracks that had featured singers on them, right?
Yeah, I would say one, two, yeah, about 3 tracks. Yeah, 3 tracks, maybe even more. Yeah, most
Yeah.
of the rapping I do myself.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. But I mean, the singing is, obviously it's either the two of them are female, and the
mhm,
other one almost sounds like Adam Levine, kind of.
mhm.
It's
Uh,
I
yeah,
can't
I
remember.
think, yeah, I think you're talking about Sam Heavens on
Yeah,
that. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so I tried to find artists that would elevate the theme or the sound in some kind of way,
Mm.
and obviously performed or did something in a way that I could not. Because you hear like a lot of the songs have different sounds and stuff. Like I'm not afraid to get out of my comfort zone, but this at some point you got to get to the point where like, okay, my freaking cat is in the screen here. You get to the point where it's like, okay, I
Oh,
need to
cutie.
yeah, kitty. I'm
Is she
surprised
featured on the
by
album? Or he?
Oreo is not featured on the album.
Oh,
But
damn.
he was featured in the video, but you cannot tell because I made it that way. I was recording the video for the visualizer, and
Hmm.
I had a black sheet for the background. He just kept attacking my feet and knocking over the sheet. So I actually had to trim the video ratio so it would fit without realizing the sheet got pulled down by the cat.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I
Cats
was
are
so
great.
upset because I was trying to do one take to make it as easy as possible, and that's like a 38-minute take, and you just ruined it by jumping on my feet and tagging me through the sheet.
Oreo! Oreo! Oreo!
Do not
I
entice him.
bring my
He's
cat. Does your
terrible.
cat look at screens at all? Like if you
Yes,
try to show, okay. One of our cats, we have two. One of our cats does, and the other one will like look everywhere. Like you hold a phone, and it's like
she's like, I am phone now.
she just don't. She won't look at it.
That is
Anyway,
hilarious.
but yeah. So yeah, but I never thought of it that way. Like if you have a featured singer as a rapper on your song, even if you sing yourself, I just thought it was more like you're collabing, like that complements the song. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I definitely kind of look at it like you said, like at the end product, like what do a collaborating, but like the Sam Heavens, it's someone that I hired to do that job pretty much. It was
mm,
like we met through Instagram and we're like, "Hey, you're awesome and I'm awesome. Let's
yeah,
work together." I find those type of collaborations. Don't get me wrong, they can be the funnest, but they're also the hardest to maintain to get people to like turn tracks in time or send verses back and you know
yeah. It can
when
be a
people
wild card too, what you end up
yeah
getting. Yeah.
exactly when people aren't getting paid, they tend to slack.
Hmm.
Especially when it's not their art. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not that important to them. It's just like, okay, I get to it whenever.
Some
So,
people, a lot of, I hate to say this, but like a lot of musicians too. I guess because it's a lot, not a lot of people's like primary job are
mhm,
kind of just slackers in general.
mhm.
Maybe they're not slackers per se, but they'll put the music thing on the back burner for sure.
Yeah, and sometimes I'm like, so are you an artist or are you not? I'm like, I'm confused. Well, when you figure that out, I'll be working on this song.
Yeah, I'll be over here being a
Yeah,
real artist. Yeah.
yeah, it's just like I don't know. Sometimes I give people the benefit of the doubt because I've missed deadlines and stuff, and
Mm.
I'm normally pretty fast about things. And if I'm like close to missing a deadline, I at least try to get it like done within a few days afterwards, whatever. But
Yeah, or like reach out and be like,
yeah,
yes, let me know.
but also it shouldn't take a month to send someone a verse.
Not
I
if
think,
you're anyone that's worth their salt.
yeah, yeah, you know what I mean. Like it's 30 seconds to a minute. You can get 30 seconds to a minute done in 30 days.
For what it's worth, I've heard that Eminem, Pimp C, and Kendrick Lamar are super fast about turning around and sending their stuff back.
Like, come on, that's the coolest thing to do.
Like
And
the
plus,
three of the greats. Like come on.
yeah, like if you love the art, you'll find time for it.
Hmm.
Like even features that I was hired for, I still try to make sure I did my best and try to get things in timely fashion.
Yeah, I think you should enjoy doing it too.
Mhm. Mhm.
If you're not enjoying doing like rapping as a rapper, like what are you doing? I
You're
think it's
like,
going to come
oh,
across
you're
like
like, oh no, I've got to go to the booth. Damn,
I'm in the
I was
studio.
not the studio again, not the studio again. Oh man,
Grah, grah.
yeah, you know what
Who am I?
I mean. Oh my
Here we
gosh,
go again.
this damn gnat flying around my face. Okay, there we go.
Oh, I thought you were saying, "Oh my gosh," and my Ice Spice thing.
That
Maybe,
too.
yeah.
Freaking ice.
So yeah, so like I said, the Adam Levine vibes on that song very much, almost like a Loop. I think Lupe's done some songs like that.
Mhm.
What's that one he did that like was real big?
That's kind of got a what kind of vibe? Like a
Like a Adam Levine, like a what's that other like pop rock band? Gwyneth Paltrow married him.
oh yeah, I know what you're talking about, but
Coldplay,
it's
like
yeah
Coldplay, kind of like rock ballad, sort of.
yeah yeah
Yeah, I mean that's
yeah. But
good.
there's
It's
there's a
good.
few ballads on there. I guess a few tracks on there could pass as ballads.
Yeah, I would say production wise, you're really good at. Some people suck at this. like the emotional buildup. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like some people are good at just making beats that slap, but there's
Yeah.
no like you don't hear like the violins or like the synths that like, and there's no like, you know what I mean? It doesn't have
Yeah.
a crescendo and a peak. It doesn't make you feel anything except just like,
And
So,
I think that's one of the focuses I did want to do with this album, even though the first one was forever ago. I remember like the first album I made, it was extremely cerebral. Like it was so okay, this cat is crazy, but anyway, I was just knocked over everything. But it was so like mental that I wanted
mm.
to make something that had a little more feeling and was a little more felt a little more true to myself. I didn't want to
Oh,
notice there was no political, like super political songs or like social topic songs on there. It's because I really didn't want to lean to that side of.
okay,
No, I wanted to lean more into the heart. So I wanted to make sure the feelings and emotions and the tracks were uh,
right.
founded upon. You know.
Okay, I thought you were saying the opposite. Like it was cerebral in the sense that it was like, I guess I was thinking, beats that slap, rappers just talking about like, I have money, I got
Hmm.
bitches. So I was thinking the
Hmm.
opposite of that would be cerebral, but I get what you're saying. So your first album was more like
Kind of both.
political.
Yeah, it was like it was so boom bap. In young teenager, everyone thinks what they have to say is so important.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
like I can't
and I was
even
like,
vote yet, but let
yeah,
me tell you about the Senate or
why
something.
we shouldn't be in the Middle East. Here's a teenager's perspective from the ghetto of why we shouldn't be in the Middle East over a boom bap beat. Sounds like it's in the 90s. I was like in that kind of stuff.
Don't be too self-deprecating. I think
Hmm.
with the timeline I'm thinking of is right around that time. That was when Logic started getting real big, and again Lupe and probably like the lyrical rap.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
you were just going with the flow, not like
Yeah,
trying to be like everybody else, but that's like I was in the same boat. I was like, yeah, these other rappers, they're just
they're the
you know
true rappers, the real ones.
triple, quadruple entendres. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When I thought, I think there's a phase of, especially you love something,
Mm,
especially if you love something where you put an emphasis on the skill it takes to get certain things done. And
yeah,
then, like, when that increases the technical part of that skill, you start to love it and favor that types of stuff. It's like, oh, okay, you can make cakes, but are you going crazy? Like, look at the skill. You know what I
that's
mean?
a great analogy, cakes, because if you think about those cake shows,
Yeah. Yeah.
like the Great British Cake Show or whatever it is, and they're making these crazy like towers with this weird like I guess what is it, foment or whatever they call
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful, but you can't really eat it.
Exactly. It's like at the end of the day, no one's having this at their birthday parties, their weddings, Yeah, and that's
Or if they are, they're the most pretentious. Like no one wants to go to that party,
yeah, and they have like a separate cake you can actually eat later on. You know,
or they don't because nobody there eats because they're all supermodels.
that
That's great. I love it.
I don't want it to be so super like I don't know.
Mm.
I just don't feel a need to, and I don't know if it's because I'm from the Midwest. I just didn't feel the need to be like super technical, super like choppy, like Midwest choppers type.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
don't feel that's necessary to convey an emotion or idea. So I kind of
No,
left that type of stuff behind this time. I was like, let me go simpler. I feel like simplicity works a little better.
yeah. I think that's the cool thing about being an artist, though, is they. Oh, maybe people don't all realize that, but you're free to change. You can
Yeah.
change and evolve and do whatever. That's the cool part about it.
Even now, I've been debating on what I want to do next. I want to like expound upon my lane of the way I'm going, kind of like the rap, electronic, EDM type way direction.
Okay, okay.
But a part of me was like, dude, do I want to do like some Silk Sonic, Bruno Mars, Pharrell Williams type? Like that would be pretty cool to make because
You could combine those pretty smoothly. I think.
yeah, I think I could dash a little bit of electronic in there, just a dash, just a little sprinkle, sprinkle, baby, a little sprinkle, sprinkle.
I think that might be. I don't want to say like the next wave because I don't believe that, but like in a way that the house music vibe that kind of comes and goes. You know what I mean?
Mhm, mhm.
Um, Azalea Banks has been doing it really good for years, and however people feel about Azalea Banks, but she's got a pretty like core audience, like.
Mhm.
If she dropped an album she hasn't done in years, she would sell records, you know.
Mhm.
Um, but I would dig it. That would be cool. I don't know. I can't think of any male artists that do that specifically.
You get me. So I'm trying to focus more on lanes where it's not to say the threat and competition is higher, but it's not so thick. Like
Right.
turning to the bright side, not nobody sounds like that. It's the lane that's not thick, and it's easy to
Yeah.
stand out, and it's easy to
And
have.
I appreciate that, just someone being different, not just for different sake, but just like
Mhm.
your style and everything being unique and not just cookie cutter. That gets me every time. You know.
Mhm. And sometimes and I'm like sometimes I'm kind of like iffy, but with that album, I wanted to make something that I wanted to make for myself, and that the songs I enjoy. If that makes any sense,
Definitely.
it's like the stuff I like to listen to sounds like this. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like my album sounds like something I would actually personally listen to.
You know Joji, right?
Joji.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you do. What was Frank? What was he before when he was a YouTuber?
I'm not
Like
sure. Somebody just sent
Filthy
me.
Frank. Filthy Frank.
Mm-hmm.
He was a YouTuber, and then he just one day was like, you know, I was listening, trying to find some music that I liked that was new, and I couldn't find any. So I'm just like, I'm going to make music that I want to listen to, you know? And he
Exactly.
did. And I think he had a decent level of success for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he's doing now, but
I feel that.
yeah.
It's kind of weird when you have like your own music and you skip it. So it's like I want to make my own music that I do not skip.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what
Cool.
I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
But to a certain extent, you always will because I've heard this 1,000 times when it's new to you guys. Like I produced it. Like I've heard this 1,000 times, tweaking it. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
So even when it's fresh to everyone's ears, it's like, oh man, gosh, I wore this out already.
Are you like sick of it at this point? Do you need to take a
Nah,
break from? No, you still love
nah,
it.
yeah, I still love it. I still
That's
have
great.
right now. I'm kind of riding that wave and that high of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
People's feedback, and I haven't. I'm still coming with the terms that it's done, that I have it out and it's finished. I just,
Yeah.
for the last
Right.
year or so, I've always been in a state of working on music, never music finished. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh,
But
now
like
what?
you said yourself that you're like already like, okay, what's next? You know, that's
Exactly.
you're just demonstrating that you have that like hunger to just keep making more. So
Oh, always. This is making me even hungrier.
that's great. You're gonna
It's
be like Gucci Man. You're gonna be putting out an album like every 3 months or something.
no legit. There might be two more by the end of the year. There will be two more
For
actually.
real?
For real.
Wow.
There'll be an EP coming out. Probably depends on how the longevity of the engagement of this album depends on what
Yeah.
I do when I drop the next one. But there's another one that's a collaborative album that we've already started on. I won't say
Oh,
too much,
really?
but you will
Can
get
you
both.
say who you're collaborating with, or?
Young RC.
Chill. That's gonna be cool because I really love that song that y'all did. Like y'all complimented each other well, so that's gonna be dope.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
we're gonna uh fuck it up a little bit. We're gonna fuck it up.
And for those who don't know, you can look up Young RC. He's an artist that Lucid's worked with before. Did I point wrong way? There we go. Um, but they did a song together called "Ease My Mind." It's on YouTube and everything else right now.
Check it out. Tell us what
It's
you
one of those
think.
songs, like I told you, is like uh, I listened to it a whole bunch because I was working on the video, probably, you know, snippets of it over and over
Yeah,
and over.
yeah.
But even now, like I saw it in my YouTube feed and I was like, oh yeah, I'll listen to that again. This
It's
gets crazy.
infectious music. It's infectious music.
It
The
really
more
is.
you listen to it, the further the virus goes inside your brain.
And it's not even one of those where it pops into my head. I'm like, oh, use
Hmm.
my mind. But when I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, okay. You know,
Yeah, for real. It's
that's a
like
good sign. Yeah.
when it pops up on Spotify, I'm like, I'll let this ride. I'll let this
Yeah.
play. Yeah.
Um, so as far as like the stuff that you rap about, and you were talking about, you know, you didn't want to be too cerebral, and this one was about the heart. With your upcoming projects, Are you? What direction are you going from there? Like to your groin or your liver or what's going on?
So the EP that's coming out next is probably just 4 tracks. I have them. They're literally just in the mixing process. Um, I would say I wouldn't call it cerebral, but it's a little more mental in the form that if you feel like Journey to the Bright Side had a story or like a timeline, this one's timeline is even more obvious. So
Oh, really?
it's kind of like it's more instrumentation based. Like there won't be any vocals on my part, but there
Mm.
is a plot and there's a storyline to it that you can obviously hear, and it's more like a movie. Like this could be a movie,
Ooh,
a short film, but I'm still deciding how I want to do the visuals. That's going to be an important part of the next project, even more so than this one.
wow. I talked to a guy a while back who was from New Orleans, and he was saying that he was going to do videos for the songs before he made the songs and then edit that video to fit the songs and do a story that way. I was like, that's different. Okay. I need to go back and check and see if he finished that, how it turned out or whatever. But
I
yeah,
That
go ahead.
sounds really cool. That'd be fun to do. If
Yeah, I
someone
thought it was
just
a cool
sent me
idea.
a video and it was like, "Hey, make a song about whatever the hell you think is happening," I think it'd be fun to do. That could definitely spice up your creativity.
Definitely.
Break the monotony a little bit.
Yeah, that's a cool challenge for sure. Kind of like when they went to Tyler the Creator for the Grinch and asked him to make that Grinch song. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to think. Grinch song? Did I miss
Yeah,
it?
they did the remake of the Grinch, the Stole Christmas. That Grinch.
I'm
And
trying to
Tyler the
remember.
Creator did like the main song for it.
Was there a video to it?
Hell yeah, I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I remember there being a video to it.
Yeah, and I'm sure this is a copyright flag thing, but I don't care.
Yeah, we're copyright striking all night.
We're gonna strike your copyright
Yep.
strike.
Journey to the Bright Side, and I'm saying, "Hey, YouTube, that's me in the video. Take that off."
You're gonna say it like that.
Twitch, you're not charge anymore.
You turn into Mike Tyson.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey YouTube, that's not cool.
That's not cool, YouTube. I ate you in your butt, or whatever you be saying. Mike Tyson was like always aggressive.
I'm gonna eat your children.
Yeah,
I'm
like
Sonny
stuff
Lister.
like that. I'm in charge now, Elon Musk. You're not in charge anymore, Elon Musk.
Is he want to fight Elon too? Why does everybody want? I mean, I get why people don't like Elon Musk, but a lot of people want to fight him apparently or something.
Yeah, okay. He's gonna, yeah, he's gonna show up in the Iron Man suit and beat the smithereens out of
Right, he totally would. He'd have the like a space helmet on and just lower himself, be like.
yeah.
All right, here it is. This is cool. Ring a
With the,
bell.
with the
Oh, it's
NWA
muted.
attitude.
Mr. Grinch, you're a bad banana. Mr. Grinch, with the greasy black peel, you're a wild one. You got termites in your smile.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
actually fresh.
that's what
Fresh.
you liked it.
Nice. Look, anything that's got like strings in it, I'm probably gonna like.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You can't go
Okay.
wrong with string textures. They're always warm and dope.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I like that with Sam Heavens or whatever. Yeah, that's what I
Hmm
was talking about, the emotional part of it.
You really are a heel.
All right, I'm tired of this.
No, I hear what you mean. I definitely hear what you mean.
I didn't have a point. I was just like, remember that time?
Remember that time Tyler Creator
Never forget.
song? Yeah, never
Yeah,
forget
it's like when
the Grinch. Yeah.
Pusher T did a commercial for Arby's fish sandwich.
That diss track.
No, he did a commercial for Arby's fish sandwich.
I think I remember that. I remember when I was like,
It's
I
on my
thought that was the
TikTok.
coolest thing. He's like,
Did he
"Our
what?
fish is the freshest," or some shit. He's like,
No,
"We got the patties," or whatever.
he did like a full song. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
It was like
remember.
McDonald's fish sandwich is whack. The
Yeah,
Arby's want to have a fish attack. Oh, I like Pusha T. He's cool.
Yeah, I've always liked Pusha T, man.
He seems like he'd be cool to hang out with.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust him though.
Why?
I don't know. Pusha T seems like a guy you don't give 100% of your trust to. Like, I wouldn't put my career or my life in that man's hands. That's for sure.
No, that's DJ Paul.
Yeah,
He's a dog one you do not trust.
yeah.
You bring your green around him, etc., etc.
He's gonna get smoked. All your girl's gonna get
Bring your bitch
smashed.
around him.
Yeah, she's gonna get
Bitch,
smashed.
she's gonna get intercourse. All
In
right,
the
back
course
to your
of,
album.
in the
Back.
course of.
She's gonna get intercourse. Journey to the Bright Side.
Whoop,
Again,
whoop.
available on all streaming platforms. And there was more I wanted to ask you. It was like, why don't we pull up that video that we were looking at? Hold on, let me do that.
Yeah, we got videos for you guys. Hot takes, hot
And
breaks.
and you put this together, right?
Um, no. So I had
Oh,
someone.
you recorded the main with your
Yeah,
cat.
yeah. I recorded my part and just edited it a little bit, and then I sent it to them to do
I gotcha.
all that awesome stuff you saw. I couldn't imagine they did that in like no time at all, which is crazy.
But to be clear, I have not seen it yet. I just saw like the YouTube preview
The
screen or
promo.
whatever. What's the name of the song?
You can just put in Journey to the Bright Side full album. So the video
Okay.
is the full album. It's meant to be a visualizer for the whole album. So you
Oh
can listen
wow.
through. Yeah, so it's something you can listen to the album the whole way through, and there'll be something cool to play.
Okay. Wow, that's a long video then, huh?
Yeah. Yes. 38 minutes. So you can play this at a
So
party or whatever.
you did like 38 minutes of you doing the whole album.
Whole album, yes. And
Wow.
that's why I was upset when my cat ruined it in a 30-second amount of time.
No, she
So
is your
I
cat a boy or a girl? I keep
a boy
okay. So he wanted to add his own, spice to it.
into it.
That's all. Yeah.
And that was actually the second time I shot that video. The first time, the camera slowly tilted and fell out of position.
Oh,
So when I was recording it, it wasn't that noticeable. But when you watch the span of the video, you see it slowly tilting out of frame, which
damn.
obviously was, yeah, so I say, oh my gosh, I just wasted a whole 40-minute video.
So after like 5 minutes, it's just like your feet or something,
Yeah,
or
it's
like
just
the wall.
it starts slowly facing the ceiling. So you guys
Damn.
start to see more and more of the ceiling visually. You just see my head and everything. I was like, yeah, this is garbage. Can't use this.
Oh. Well, let's see. What part should I play? Let me
Click
find-
anywhere random and it will be trippy as
Ah.
hell.
Say what?
Click anywhere random and it'll be trippy as hell. I'm thinking of getting lit tonight and just playing the video and get some party lights and really having a good time.
In your garage or?
Yeah, at
I'm in
home.
my laundry room. That's not a diss,
She's
I
like,
really think you should have a release party.
mm-hmm.
That would be cool. I think that's a good idea, especially since it does have that like EDM vibe to it.
I just have to do it sometime during the week or something because every weekend I'm doing the.
Well, you couldn't just say, "Hey, this one weekend I can't."
I
Or I
could, but
mean,
I really need to.
I hear you.
You
Maybe you
hear me?
could charge. Maybe you could like. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later.
I'm always down for brainstorming. If people like it, tell us in the comments.
Yeah, yeah. Send us your ideas for free. But no, here goes this snippet from the video of the full album, Journey to the Bright Side. This is where I put it. It's like at 6 minutes exactly.
You win some, you
That's
lose
exactly where
some.
my promo was.
I'm bright as the
Really?
sun, now you
Yeah,
feeling the
that's
burn. I
literally
can't
the
go back,
exact
I can
spot.
only move forward. I raise the
That's
prices, I know
crazy.
what I'm worth. I feel the love pouring up from the earth. Life is a party, I
Man, that
come and
sounds
take
really
it. I
good.
got my day ones who too late to quit. You get what chance, I'm all on your feelings, cause I'm the only one who whistle like this. It takes a little pain to know you want. I gave you what you need, not what you want. It takes a little rain to
I
enjoy the
am so
sun.
happy at how good that sounds.
It sounds great and it looks great.
You know what I mean? Like
It hurts my brain a little bit
it does.
in a good way.
Yeah, like you need some psychedelics or some shrooms or something to put you under the influence.
Or you could just be sober and be high on life, dude.
Yeah, you could. You could.
I have a little speech, by the way. Should I
Yeah.
save it for the end?
No, go ahead and do it.
Okay.
This is our warning to the listeners, and
Listen
you
up,
got to
kids.
do it.
Listen, listen up, kids. I know that lots
This
of rappers like to talk about taking
Wait.
perks. What?
This message is not sponsored by Lucid the Dreamwaker. Spill it though.
You're not going to co-sign this?
I am not gonna co-sign this. I am very okay. Okay, no, wait. Where'd you go?
I was just in the corner. I'm
I
fine.
was like, my co-host just ran away. What the hell?
It's like if you're
Okay,
not
I
going to
will.
co-sign me, I'm out. Like
I will 70% co-sign this. Okay,
you don't even know
actually,
what I'm going
I
to
will
say. I could be saying,
85%
you know,
co-sign this. Okay, go for it.
DEFCON 5. No,
He's like, eat the rich. No, go for it.
kids, I know rappers like to talk about taking Percocets and drinking lean and stuff. They've been talking about that for a long time. But let me tell you something, kids. Wait, let me switch it. How do I switch it? What? Nope,
Now
that's not
you're
it.
very tiny and you're in the corner.
That's the opposite of my intention. Anyway, um, there's an opioid crisis going on. Well, it's over, and a lot of people like to say there is no. What are you doing?
I thought maybe if I click it, it'd make me the small box, but that didn't happen.
No. And let me finish preaching to the youth. No, like opioids are nothing to mess with. They make you feel great. They can make you feel great for years. You could be having the time of your life for years and years and years, but when you try to stop, you are going to be in a world of hurt.
Mm,
And you're going to find if you're taking perks or whatever every weekend,
mm.
every other weekend, every day, the harder it's going to be to get off them. And you can actually die from
Very
trying to
true.
quit. You can die from taking them as well, but you can also die from trying to quit. And so I just like caution these kids because I hear about perks so much. Percocets are freaking pretty strong.
They're
It's
not even
not
that cool of a drug. I don't get it.
it affects people differently, okay? Because
Oh,
like
okay, okay,
opioids are weird. They
okay.
do weird stuff to your serotonin and your
Hmm.
synapses in your brain. For some
Hmm.
people, it's kind of like ADHD meds.
Right,
Like how people that actually have ADHD supposedly, if you take Ritalin, it calms you down, it slows you down.
yeah,
Other people, it hypes you up. It's like
right.
that.
Hmm.
Some people, it just makes your nose itch and it makes you tired.
Yeah.
Other people, you're just like
What is
on
life?
cloud nine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a really feel good feeling. But it's the same component that's in it, the same chemical component as heroin.
Hmm.
I don't think a lot of kids know that or realize that. So I'm
Simple.
just saying,
Hey, okay, Lucid does sponsor that message. Stay away
thank
from
you.
those drugs. Stay away
What
from
did you
drugs,
think I was going to say?
especially perks. Well, I knew it was going to be an anti-drug PSA.
Hmm.
I didn't know you were going to talk about those drugs, and I am very anti those drugs.
And I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, don't ever try any drugs in your life.
Yeah,
Or like, anyone that takes a Percocet for fun is a bad person.
You
No,
should
it's
see
just don't be
bottles
stupid about it. Don't be stupid about it. I
and
saw
never do anything more than 3 times. You could get an
not even
addiction.
no, not even once. That
Not
whole
even once.
whole meth campaign.
But
They're
if
like,
you do it,
yeah,
if you do meth one time, you're gonna go from a cute 16-year-old girl to this haggard wench with no teeth
first time.
instantly,
yeah. I know what you mean.
and then you're gonna die. So,
The
anywho,
way I see it is, I choose not to dance with the devil. I'll pass on that dance. If you're not a good dancer, don't dance with the devil because you will lose, like so many before you have. So,
but you're just sitting here talking about getting lit and watching. There
well, yeah. Well, I'm more
you go.
of
A natural type.
a THC psychedelic type. They're
Okay,
not very addictive, and they don't.
it's from the earth, man.
Yeah, and they don't necessarily make you turn into the winch you see in the ads for the other drugs.
You're
Yeah,
not.
like
Your teeth
yeah,
aren't gonna fall out, and you're not gonna
yeah,
start
you're
like
not gonna like eat
cannibalizing
some sugar and your
people.
teeth is gonna fall out. You might think they are, but I swear when you sober up, they're still gonna be there.
You're not gonna wake up in a chicken coop naked.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you might depends on, like you said, it depends on the person. But
Yeah.
I I don't think that all drugs are all things are necessarily negative. I do feel like some things can actually add to you and your experience
Oh
and you
yeah.
as a human being. But I wouldn't recommend that, especially at a young age, to go into drugs, and I wouldn't recommend trying things without someone
Doing your
who is
research.
experienced doing your research and
Yeah.
knowing where you got it, who you got it from, and is it exactly what they say it is.
Mm.
I'm for responsible drug use, not that other, getting addicted to pills and ruining your life and beating your mother and stealing her purse. I'm not pro that.
Portland, Oregon just legalized all drugs. Kind of
Yeah,
like Amsterdam. You heard that?
yeah. So I'm interested to see. Well,
Interested to go?
that too, but I feel like over there is more of their medical field is more open minded. So you could go take a
Mm,
small dose of shrooms or ketamine, and it would be like a trained professional who's around you who knows what to do and to
that's a good
guide you through
point.
those experiences. That's different. And so
That's a
like
good
these
point.
drugs do have positive sides. It's just that when this illegal and unregulated, you get all types
Mm,
of dirty drugs, terrible people selling it to people they shouldn't be selling it to, and a bunch of, improper use. But
yeah, like
mhm.
fentanyl,
Exactly.
propofol that killed Michael Jackson allegedly or whatever. Those are things that they will regularly give people at the hospital when they're
Mhm.
having surgery. It
Mhm.
has a use, and it's a good use because I've had surgery before, and I didn't sure didn't want to be awake for it. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I had a C-section. Like, I remember seeing people around me. I remember holding my baby. I remember also that the father of my child was there talking about how they pulled my whole uterus out of my body.
Oh my
So if
gosh.
I'm not like,
Yeah.
on something, forget it.
That sounds like some haunted house experience type shit.
But at the time, it was amazing. So,
So yeah, so we're not. So I will say, any rappers you see, you guys see these rappers just drinking lean and dipping this and doing that. Don't do that. Your brain will rot, and then I will out rap you because your brain doesn't work,
you
and I will steal your opportunity in your spot. So do
don't want
not
to get
do it.
punk like that.
Yeah, you don't want to be
You know?
out rat because your brain is too slow to function because you drank too much lean, and
And
then you
that's
fall
true.
asleep, and then I smash your girlfriend.
I think a lot of people that end up getting addicted to things a lot of the time are in situations that they just don't care.
Yeah,
They just
it's
don't care about what their brain's going to be like. They don't know if they're going to,
even be
you
alive.
know, yeah, exactly. And
I get it. A lot
yeah,
of times it's
I do
it's
too.
mental and emotional. So we're not talking down on you if that's
No, absolutely
your
not. It's
situation, but
hard. Life's hard.
yeah, life is hard. So we understand when to escape. Even Journey to the Bright Side, a lot of that was made with the intention to make people feel better and escape because we often.
Mm, definitely. But let me ask you this then, and this isn't necessarily related to this album, I don't think, but do you feel like using anything, whether it's like you said, THC or mushrooms or whatever, does that help your creative process? Or, I'm not saying you like every time you have to think of like a rhyme, you're like, oh, let me drop some acid or whatever. I'm saying like, along the way, do you think that's kind of boosted your creativity at all, or
I would say
in what way?
overall it's in a way it's definitely boosted my creativity because it's detoxed boundary lines and
Mm,
things that would normally car compartmentalize ideas. You
okay.
know, it's hard to, you do a psychedelic and lines aren't lines anymore, and the boundaries start to fade. It's
Mm,
hard to see things as black and white. Those things, especially like even just smoking, THC or whatever, it starts to kind of open you up a little bit, open up your mind, open up your heart to a little more, especially if you're someone who's going through a wounded situation or
yeah.
you're in a place where it's very, even like Indiana, conservative or even like
Shoot.
where you are, you know exactly how it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
Like you said, you're in the Bible Belt. You know
Hmm.
exactly. It's like if you're someone who's never done that, doing that has potential to make you think differently. and see
Hmm.
things differently. So I definitely think it has added to my creativity. But do I think I would be less creative without it? No. But would I
Okay.
be the same person? Definitely not.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I would be the same person either. But
You know,
I'm trying to think of what I am going to want to say about
would
my
would,
experience with all that.
would you be
Considering,
would you
huh?
be a Karen right now? You'd be yelling at people to put their shopping carts back at the grocery stores.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever be a Karen on not on purpose anyway. I have asked for the manager before, but it was totally warranted. So
We all do once in a while.
it was a life or death situation. I had to
Okay.
to
Yeah.
get the
Okay.
manager. We were drowning, and I had to. The manager's the only one with the life vest. No,
Uh,
like it's hard to explain. Like if you had to explain to somebody who'd never done it, which happens when you have kids, because they ask you a lot of questions and you want to be as like diplomatic as possible but not be like, yeah man, you should try it. Like,
yeah.
um
Exactly. Yeah.
it's like, there's a time and a place for everything, and I feel like especially with mushrooms and all that kind of stuff, they've been used for millennia by humans, and there's some people that argue that that's really what shaped us into like having civilizations and religions and
Mhm.
being like more of I guess evolved or whatever you want to call it, like
Yeah.
what differentiates us from the rest of the animal kingdom
You're
as far
right.
as what we create,
Right.
because it
Mm.
it sparks something in our mind.
Mm-hmm.
uh I don't know, it's sort of like a spiritual thing, I guess.
No, I definitely hear you.
And I feel like a lot of people misuse that, but for whatever that's worth. um have you heard
Yeah.
anything about like the microdosing stuff that they do for people that are like that have
Hmm.
PTSD and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I've heard about that, and it seems. I mean, a lot of. I mean, I hear a lot of positive results about it.
Yeah,
You know,
there's no negative side effects.
exactly.
um
And it's like if
and
people need
like
that, then hey,
the success rates are like across the board, like, good. So it's weird.
exactly. It's like I'd rather people do that than these addictive pills, like we were just talking about.
Right.
That you know.
I've even seen it advertised like on Facebook, like you can get micro dosages of something. I don't know what it is exactly, but some sort of like psilocybin or something.
Yeah,
And
me
it's
too.
like an antidepressant. Yeah, you've seen those? It's like,
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm in Indiana. I don't think you're supposed to be targeting this state with those ads. I
but
was like,
see, I don't know how illegal it is really anymore. You know what I mean? I mean, the lines are getting kind of blurry.
well, we're over here. We're just not too long ago, a few years ago, we were just letting people use CBD. So we're that far.
Really?
Yeah, we're behind. Like we're
That's
behind.
crazy because where I live, they've had dispensaries for years.
No,
Wow.
dispensaries have not.
I would never think that that was. I mean,
Indiana
it's a
is
certain
extremely
like
conservative.
grade. It's like 3.2 alcohol. It's like lower THC weed,
Hmm. Hmm.
but they're everywhere now.
So I remember there being like a slight panic here when all the Delta 8 Delta products and the THCOs were
That's what I'm
coming
talking
out.
about. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So they were working to get those banned, but I don't think that it's almost like they didn't put as much attention on it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
for a while it was a hot topic, and then it just kind of faded, and then now no one's talking about it.
But are there places now that sell that? Like more of
Yeah,
them?
so now it's very commonplace. Now you can go down.
Okay.
I can go down to the local gas station and get a
Right. Us too.
pen. And before a couple years ago, it was definitely not like that. You couldn't even get CBD. Like
Okay. I thought you were saying like a couple months ago that
no,
you couldn't.
not months.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean,
Yeah,
like
still, we
2 years.
were. I'm really surprised by that. I would think we'd be behind everybody. Oh.
Yeah, you gotta remember, big boy Mitch Daniels. This is where he's from.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's,
I guess the rest of the state more so than Indianapolis, huh?
yeah. So it's not exactly a. Now it's a little more progressive than we've been in a few years.
Do you think that's just in the city or like the rest of the state?
Rest of the state. It seems to be like a state law type of deal.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Um. All right. So with this album coming out, are you putting out more videos too? Like,
Yeah, so I do have some videos in the work. I do have a video for Holy Chariots in the work. Sorry about that. And I thinking of having another for a couple of them. So one of the main things I wanted to do with this album was to emphasize visuals. Now I
mm,
had a project, something that I can brand myself around and establish a, kind of a visual presence with.
mm.
So that's what I'll be doing tons of post release at this point.
Sorry, I just realized I should probably make sure there's no echo.
and,
There's
and
not. Okay.
yeah, no, we're good. I'd be able to hear it last time I
Oh,
heard
that's
it.
right. That's right. That's right.
Hmm.
All right. Well, what do you think ultimately? Like, if someone was going to get something out of this album, what would you want? Like, how would you want it to help somebody, or how do you think it would help somebody if they were going through a certain situation or something? You know?
I hope it would make them receive the situation in a less heavy way and
Okay.
in more light. And I would hope that it rejuvenate them enough to try to do something about it.
Cool. I like that.
I would hope it would make them look at their life and the situation as not the end all and just a moment,
Mm,
and that they have the power to reshape their own lives.
yeah. That's good. That's deep. I mean, no, really, because I wanted to say do another PSA at one point, and I kind of forgot about it. But just to people that are like depressed in general, that are, I don't want to say like they're thinking about like ending their life necessarily, but yeah, that too. Just like when you're depressed and things are like going bad, you tend to like turn inward really like a lot, and it's hard when you're in that mind state to like be grateful or see things for what they are. You know what I mean?
Really. I've I
Yeah.
think that's a lot of the energy of where I was at a certain point in that project. Like
Mm.
some of the songs started not being as fun, and
Well, when you say not as fun, you mean like when they started taking a more serious note, like towards the
yeah,
end of the.
yeah,
Okay, yeah,
more serious note, and
yeah.
it's definitely something that you just kind of have to claw your way out of. Like, luckily, I had
Mm,
this album. That's kind of what the journey is about. It's like from that state of being to something that's more healthier, self-loving, and balanced.
yeah. So did the making, like in the making of it, was that helpful to you to like crawl out of that, or
Very, very.
right,
Like
right?
on my way, Warrior Soul, that whole section there.
Hmm.
That's literally how I felt when I was making those tracks.
Wow,
Like that was very much the energy, and
wow.
getting them out kind of helped me make sense of it.
Yeah, like process it.
Yeah, it helped take it off my shoulders and put it in something else. I stored it inside a song. you know.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it definitely helped a lot.
I think that's where it was like pivotal with that the therapy song. I was like, oh Lord, because when you're hearing the lyrics, you're like, that's not a good idea. You're like,
Exactly.
fuck therapy. I'm just gonna get drunk. I'm just gonna get
Mm,
lit. But
yeah.
it's also very relatable.
Hmm.
So
I think, yeah, and I think we even like this is perfect because we were talking about the addiction stuff. Like we
hmm
all have well, some more than others have a tendency of escaping through like substances, games, TVs, Netflix,
yeah,
anything really. And for
porn.
a lot of people, it's substances and alcohol. Those seems to be the most common across the board,
I,
despite
I don't know about that.
background and vision. Yeah, what do you think?
The only reason I say that is because I don't want to sound like an old person, but like your phone,
Oh
you're
yeah.
you're looking at your phone. I mean, it's hard for me because like what I do for a job is so phone intensive. Yeah, there's even things that I can't do on a PC that I have to do on a phone,
Hmm.
and looking at social media because I do like social media marketing, whatever,
Right.
and then the stuff for the podcast too. And it's like I get caught just scrolling, and I'm like, stop scrolling, stop, put the phone down, I'm like, no, I
Yeah, they
can't, I
get you.
can't,
They get you.
and I'm
That's
not
that
even enjoying
serotonin
myself. I'm
thing.
like, people say it's like, oh, it's rewarding your brain. I'm like, my brain does not feel rewarded right now.
You know what I think it's like? I think it's like smoking a cigarette when you don't even feel the need to smoke one. You just
Mm-hmm.
do it just because that's what you do. It's your habit. You just smoke a cigarette every other
Yeah, like
2 weeks.
after breakfast or at 3 o'clock or
Yeah.
whatever, when you're on break, whatever.
It's
Yeah.
not even that you necessarily need it. It's just that's what you do.
Yeah.
Your brain's like, yeah,
Habits, I guess, are really
yeah.
just patterns in your brain. I mean, that goes for everything, really.
No, I definitely feel you. Especially, I do feel for you because even before you get to the music and all the DJing and stuff you do, this is your livelihood, like, in this screen. So I feel for you very
Well,
much so because I know what it's like to want to take a break and just turn that shit off.
no, I mean, like, that's anything though. Like, if I wasn't doing this, but like other jobs I've had, I'd be at a computer typing up, whatever, or like doing data entry, or I've had such a wide variety of jobs. Like, Lord, like if you work in a restaurant, you're like making the same thing every day, or like,
Yeah.
it's just, some stuff is more brain stimulating than others. I feel very grateful to have the job I have. A lot of people are like, man, I wish I could do that. I could just post on, social media. I do that anyways, but it kind of takes the fun out of it, when
You
you're
ain't doing it for work.
have to do it. But
Yeah.
regardless, addictions, like when I see kids, like they literally cannot put their phone down even when they know that they're about to get in trouble.
See, I feel bad for them because they grew up with all this stuff. Like, I don't even know what I'd be like if I grew up with an iPad. What would
I'm
my
very
attention
grateful
span
that
be like?
where I was growing up, like as a teenager, everybody didn't have a phone, I mean, a camera in their pocket. Because so many
Yeah,
of us would be
viral.
not viral, but we'd be screwed and embarrassed. And,
Exactly. Viral for the wrong reasons.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh,
That little school fight that Troy the Show got in would be making its rounds on World Star right now.
this year. Yeah. No, but then at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, we talk about, like, for instance, like, do you know who Theo Vaughn is?
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't used to like him so much, but I'm really starting to like him now.
Yeah, same.
Um, but he did an interview with some comedian. I can't remember, but they were talking about, oh, we used to just be bored when we were kids. Like, we just like walk home from the bus stop and like see a squirrel, and then we'd have a conversation about a squirrel. I go to the dentist's office with my dad, and I just sit there and read the same comic book over and over.
Yo,
And
I remember doing that.
but I get what they're saying, but all this stuff is technology is developing for a reason. And
Yeah,
I don't know if it's necessarily a good thing to just be bored. I know it's good to have like moments of quiet, to like use your imagination, to be able to escape from your phone and all that. I think if it wasn't such a lucrative, like a money
industry.
oriented, yeah, that it
Yeah,
would be better, because to be
yeah.
able to access all this information and like interact globally is very cool.
Very powerful too.
That's what where our brains are like evolving with the technology. I think that's how it's supposed to be, but I don't think we need to be that bored either. So I don't know.
No, I definitely hear you on that because it's like not even just for teenagers. Being bored is normally when you end up doing dumb shit you shouldn't be doing. But
Exactly.
also the only problem is like with the attention thing is that now is everyone, all these corporations, everybody's trying to snatch your attention when you open that phone. Everybody wants you looking at their video or their TikTok or compared to anybody else's. So it's
Yeah.
and a lot of it is corporation or like money driven. So it's like those people don't necessarily have your best intentions at mind. And if you're young, so you're not
More
really
susceptible. Yeah.
yeah. So like my my girlfriend's kid, she had words. They have words every week, spelling, English class, whatever you want to call it.
Hmm.
And one of the words was propaganda. She was like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Man."
Well, how old is she?
She's 12. So
I think most 12-year-olds, regardless of what era we're in, probably don't know what propaganda is.
Exactly. So I wanted to like take a long draw of an imaginary cigarette that I had and like, come here, child. I'll show you propaganda. It's just like
Let me show you.
yeah, in the age of technology, like your generation needs to know what that is more than mine ever did.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Yeah, for
but
sure.
since we're balanced up, we're so happy you guys have something and you can go on YouTube and look up anything you want to know or like
Mm,
learn.
yeah.
But also there's a lot of darker, I would call them entities on the internet or
Oh
you know
yeah.
what I mean? You know what I mean?
I think it's weird how much we as a species exploit children sexually.
Sheesh.
And I mean that sincerely because it's been going on here and there in the little dark corners of our society for forever.
Forever.
But there's things that it comes about in ways that it's like, you got the Disney Channel, you got like,
Like they desensitize us to this stuff.
yeah, but, and I feel like honestly allowing kids as a society, I mean, because even if you as a parent you're super diligent, you put all the protection stuff
Parental
on all the
locks and yeah.
whatever, yeah, they could go to school and some kid whose parents don't, they'll be like, hey, look at this, it's butt sex, or whatever. Like,
No, you're right.
what can you can't do anything about that.
I remember as a child being very young, my parents trying to control the level of music I hear, even especially rap.
Mm.
And I remember going to the after school programs or being picked up by people's kids and hearing the exact thing they didn't want me to hear
Mm.
because those rules were not in place there. And
Right.
now look at me. What do? I rap.
Do you does like your mom hate rap? Like,
No, I just grew up in a very religious
oh,
household.
that's
So
right. Yeah, that's
yeah,
right. Yeah.
at the time, both my mom and my stepdad were both pastors, and my real dad was also very religious. So
Okay. Yeah, I forgot you said that they were pastors. Yeah.
yeah, so obviously you can think of a whole collection of rap music that might upset people like that.
Especially back then, because I don't think there were a
Yeah,
lot of like
yeah,
Christian rappers.
early '90s to 2000s. Yeah, I remember like Jesus Walks being one of the only rap songs I can listen to.
Yeah, and I think I think Kanye kind of broke into like the whole like Christian community with that for a minute, and then people are like, oh wait, never mind.
And then My Dark Twisted Fantasy comes out.
The latest thing with Kanye is his new wife and him have been in Italy for a couple months or whatever.
I would have seen these pictures of fat Kanye. I don't know who that is. This is fucking uncle or somebody. I don't know.
No, it's him. He's just
Fat
gotten.
Ye.
He's relaxing. He's in Italy. Like, what do you do in Italy? You eat and you chill. Like, I guess I don't know. But the Italians hate him
Why?
because him and his wife. First of all, they'll go out to dinner and she's wearing like, you know, head to toe bodysuit that's like transparent with nothing underneath it.
Well, I understand that.
And I thought the Italians were like really like way more
Sexual
liberal.
expressive, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but they're really not. They're not like the French with their nude beaches and stuff. They're like very fashion oriented, but
That's what I thought.
but they don't want to see people walking around with their titties out or their dicks out. They don't
Yeah.
like that. They're very much like a um.
Hurry up with my damn croissants. Get the
No, that's
Porsche at the new
France. That's
garage.
France.
Yeah, I know, but it's
Uh,
still funny. That's why I hear Kanye talking to the Italians when he gets there. Get the Porsche at the damn garage.
the poor. Where's
I
my
am a
croissants at?
god. Yeah,
Like,
I
we
am
don't
a
have a
god.
croissant. What are you talking about? No, but the other thing, and I saw this today. I think it just happened today or a day ago. They went on one of those pedal boat rides. I think just like a
Yeah,
little
I
touristy
saw
thing.
that. I saw that, and they were like, apparently there was some fellatio going on or something with
Yeah,
the kid.
like that. I just saw pictures, but he's like looking around. He's wearing like a suit coat, and the back of it's like open where the slit is, and like you could see his butt sitting bare assed on the little seat on the
Not
boat.
bare booty. Bare
Yes,
booty is just uncalled for. You don't put your bare butt on people's property.
he put his bare butt on their boat, and then she was in front of him,
Like you gotta clean
like
that.
this.
You gotta clean
Yeah,
that.
I don't care who you are. Like,
Look, if I'm rich, successful, with a beautiful woman, have tons of cash, sure, I get some fellatio on the boat. But I'm not putting my bare butt cheeks on your seats for you to.
That's what you have a problem with?
Yeah, that's someone else's property. They don't want to have to wipe your booty sweat off their seats, bro. That's crazy.
That's a problem. But I think it's also a problem that they're riding around on a pedal boat or whatever in broad daylight on a weekday, in a park, in a public park.
Oh wow. Well,
I don't
that
know if there's
definitely.
kids around or how
Oh,
private it
that
was.
definitely changes the tone.
I
Anything illegal, and you add the word park to it, it immediately adds like 3 degrees.
Yeah.
Oh, you should not be
If
doing.
you're at a park, there's probably a school nearby.
Yeah, like
Yeah, anyway,
if there's
but
families and stuff, it'd be a little more.
it just looked gross. It's just like a gross. They looked very unhappy, like both of them. Even though that was happening, he was just like, what
He's like, all these paparazzi around me. This is the only time I can get any.
I wish you were Kim.
Oh, that's terrible.
Spits on her.
Oh no, there's probably a lot of that. She's probably like, call me Kim. She's like, say her name. You know what I'm saying? She's like, call me
She
Kim.
says that.
Yeah, she's like, call me Kim.
I thought it would be more like he's calling her Kim, and she's like, "That's not my name." He's like, "Shut up, Kim."
She's like, I'm your wife. Call me Kim. That's what she said. I'm your wife now. Call me Kim.
I don't even know what her real name is, honestly. I don't know
Kim
where she
Jr. I don't know.
Kim Jong Un.
Yeah,
Where did she come from? I know she's a model, but she's like Kim Kardashian curvy, so I don't know what she modeled for.
Haynes. I don't know.
Hey, you know what I mean though? Like just
Yeah, I know what
traditionally
you mean.
models,
Are slim, tall.
she's got like some triple G's, like
Yeah, that's in style now. That whole like skinny body pick up
for
your own
modeling.
phase is over. Yeah,
You work in the fashion world. I don't.
yeah, that's over. It's all inclusive. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not to say that
I
it's
still
all inclusive, but
no, it never will be. But
it's different things for different.
I know that some like designers and
Yeah.
clothing lines will try to bring in like a 60-year-old and an 18-year-old and like black, white, and even like
Mm,
vitiligo and like everything in between. Good on them, but for the most part, they're tall and are
yeah.
shaped like coat hangers because that's what they are. You
See,
know.
I feel like well, I feel like most of the people that are being progressive, like fashion wise, is waist are like the underwear and the swimsuits.
Hmm.
Like the other stuff, like you said, like the Coke stuff with the long dresses and the outfits, and
Hmm.
they're still exactly the way you remember them. But I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like when you see like uh underwear models and that type of stuff, that they're
Okay.
more progressive than they were before, a lot more.
I
And
guess
some of
because
that,
the clothing, I guess like logistically speaking, the clothing doesn't have to like
no, it
be
ain't got a hang.
displayed as
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, so I was like, well, they're the ones. Yeah, I can see why they can get away with it.
Okay. I don't know what she models. Um, but yeah, so speaking of fashion, you have something coming up, right? But,
So there was just the Indiana Fashion Week, Fashion in Transit,
mhm.
and I produced the set music for the show, and they're going to be releasing some videos here soon. I've got
Oh,
some.
so that already happened?
It already happened. I had to work that day, so I couldn't get any clips myself,
Hmm.
unfortunately. So I kind of had to scour the internet and try to see what I could find. I didn't find too much from people's like personal, stories or whatever. They disappear after a while.
Yeah.
So after the media team gets back to me, I'll have some high quality content to post about that.
Yeah, bring that for next time for sure. I want to see that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was like my first big like client.
Congrats on that too. Yeah, sounds like you're making moves, dude. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm pushing before the winter gets here. Maybe
Right.
maybe if I push hard enough, I can go somewhere warm for the winter.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I'll take you with me. You can come.
Oh, well, take your girl, dude.
Well, yeah, that too, because then she'd be very upset, and you can bring your man too.
Yeah. Well, actually, we were talking
So,
about like go to New Orleans.
yeah,
Uh, what? PT and
the double G.
yeah. Uh, damn it, Authentic and
Hmm.
Trent Lee. They were talking about they wanted to go too. We could have a whole rap yard party down there.
I want to have a wrap yard sea boil.
A sea
Sea,
boil.
yeah, I want a wrap yard seafood boil.
All right.
Seafood boil wrap like extravaganza.
Like crawfish boil? Is that what
Yeah,
you're trying to
yeah,
say?
yeah, yeah. I want a
Definitely,
crawfish boil with like rappers and the rap yard.
definitely down with that.
That'd be lit.
Let's manifest it. Let's make it
Yeah.
happen.
I can hear
Uh,
the shells cracking now. Mm, I'm seeing the butter all over your shirt. Let's go.
uh-uh.
Yeah.
I got a bib on and everything.
Yeah, yeah. You got the bib on. Like, come on.
It's the most unattractive scene ever. I'm like,
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. No one looks good eating all that shit, man, with butter all on the bib.
there's a chick on YouTube or something. That's all she does. It's like an ASMR thing, I guess. But it's
Is it that Asian one?
it's a black
Oh,
lady. Um, but she's she's just smacking, just
oh,
like
I've seen her. I've seen
yeah.
her too. Yeah,
It's fascinating yet disgusting.
yeah. You see her just crack the head right off of them bad boys.
She's just like up in the mic, just like
Oh my gosh, I don't see how people watch that stuff.
the food looks good as hell usually.
It's the sounds for me.
Yeah, that shit is so stupid. Is that shit over with yet? The
No,
ASMR shit. It's like,
no,
oh, I'm rubbing a tiny football on the
they're
microphone.
still doing that. And now it's got the like acting like anime characters or some shit.
Yeah, I'm tired of
Does the
that.
mice want cheese? Does the mice want cheese? Woohoo! I'm like, bro, what the fuck is this? And then people are like, give money, send money.
No, this whole thing.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, dog tail. Ice cream. And then people are like, send her cash. That's cool. I'm just like, I don't get it, but hey, give her your money. I don't get it now.
The only time I've ever sent anybody like those gifts on TikTok, I know that it translates to like fractions of a cent. So
No.
like whatever. I'm not. That's why I'm not so eager to my personal page to get to 1,000 followers. I really don't care because TikTok is the worst at paying people out.
I heard about that.
Yeah,
I
so
heard about that.
fuck it. Well, yeah. So, Lucid the Dreamwaker, Journey to the Bright Side, out now, all
Right
streaming
now.
platforms. It is a trip. It's like
Agreed.
nothing you've probably ever heard,
Ever.
listener.
Ever. And I promise you that.
And it's also like a wide variety of different sounds. So it's pretty much something for every mood. But if you listen to it front to back, which a lot of people don't anymore, but I can encourage you to because it is a story, right?
If you listen to my album on shuffle, I will hide under your bed and wait for you to fall asleep and play with your fucking feet. Like, do not do that, bro. Do
Play with
not
their
do that.
feet.
Yes, you won't be able to get any sleep. Every time you close your eyes, I'm gonna tickle your damn toes.
There'll be like instructions for use, like, on
Yeah.
the back of the album if people buy the physical.
Warning. There's a huge warning in the corner that says exactly what I just said.
Do you do like physical like releases? Like do you press vinyl and stuff?
I have not yet, but I'm thinking of having a few. I'm thinking of maybe having like 5 vinyls and making it a special thing. But
Yeah.
only 5 of these will exist in forever.
Wow,
And if you
forever?
have one forever, only 5 of them will exist unless you somehow make your own because you're a cocksucker. But
Who makes
officially,
their own though?
well,
Like
like technically, you could have a vinyl made and just rip songs and then have it, sent somewhere and then have them press it for
I
you.
wouldn't even know.
But that wouldn't even be high quality. It wouldn't be
No.
like the highest form that I have.
Right.
You
He's
know,
got the elite.
source files, source waves. Like I have the highest quality of those sounds.
I got another idea I gotta hold on to for
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it just popped into my head. All right. Is there anything else going on in the world or in your album or anything else that we haven't
We're
touched on?
taking things step by step. I think that's about a wrap right now.
Yeah, it's about a wrap.
Mhm, mhm.
Yard.
There'll be more stuff coming soon. That is a wrap.
Yard.
Yard podcast.
Cat cast. I haven't used a single sound effect this whole time.
I
That's all right.
couldn't. I needed to plug my stuff up, so I couldn't.
Oh wait, here we go.
That boy swimming his over there.
Yeah.
You better do better. Get out there, young buck.
That is from the Montgomery Brawl. For
Yeah,
that.
we got some chairs waiting for you guys.
Yeah. So listen to the album front to back, or we'll get you with the chair.
Well, ha 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 ha. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
For tuning in.
We'll catch you next time. Oh, we're gonna have a guest next time. It's gonna be. Let me find out. Remember, I'm sorry. I should do this beforehand. Hacking.
Beanie,
Hacking.
beanie, 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 beanie,
Beep, boop,
beanie,
boop,
beanie.
boop, boop, boop.
This is
Loading,
our loading
computing.
sounds.
Where did it
Going
go?
to artist directory, finding hot artists for
Uh,
next week. Loading artists, loading artists.
Wait a second. Was that in my other Instagram? I guess so.
Artists
It's
included.
it's gonna be a surprise. It's a dope artist out of Chicago, and y'all are definitely gonna want to mess with him. And then he might actually be coming physically to me. So more on that soon. Just stay tuned to
Yeah,
all our socials, and I'll have that for you.
me too.
Yeah. Sorry.
Good night, guys.
Adios. See you
Amigo.
next week.